Hey, everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Absolutely. Let's get into it.
Awesome. So today we're tackling something I think a lot of us struggle with, and that is mornings.
Yes.
We've all heard it, right?
Yeah.
Mornings are the key to success and all that jazz, but how do the most successful people actually use those early hours? That's what we're going to find out.
Yeah.
Our guide for this deep dive is Laura Vanderkam's What the Most Successful People Do Before Breakfast.
Great book.
A fascinating look at how those who, really seem to have it together, well, how they structure their mornings for maximum impact.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, it's not just about waking up early.
It's about intentionality.
Exactly. It's about making strategic choices that set you up for success. So what are some of the key things that Vanderkam found in her research?
Well, one of the most striking things is that she found that mornings are often when we have the most energy and focus.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and that makes them ideal for tackling those important but maybe not urgent tasks that we tend to put off.
Yeah, like those things that are on the to-do list, but they never seem to make it to the top.
Exactly.
Because, the urgent stuff always pops up, right?
Yeah, those fires that need to be put out.
The tyranny of the urgent.
Exactly. But in the morning, your inbox is hopefully still relatively quiet.
Yeah.
There are fewer distractions. Your phone isn't blowing up yet. And so you can really get some deep work done.
I'm a night owl. I really am.
Oh, okay.
But even I have to admit that some of my best, most productive work happens before the day's chaos kicks in.
Right.
So maybe there's something to this whole morning thing.
I think there is.
Maybe it's not just about when we work, but also how long we work. It's about finding that sweet spot where we're most effective.
Yeah.
What else did Vanderkam find? I mean, this whole idea of energy is really intriguing.
Well, she actually talks about it not just as time management, but as energy management.
Ooh, I like that. Energy management.
Yeah. Successful people use mornings for things that align with their long-term goals.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, not just checking things off a to-do list, but actually doing things that move them closer to where they want to be in life. For example, she interviewed a very successful CEO who, despite his incredibly busy schedule, made time to paint every morning.
Wow. Every morning.
Every morning.
He's a CEO.
Yeah, CEO of a huge company.
That's wild.
And he said that it fueled his creativity for the rest of the day.
That's incredible. It's like they're setting the tone for the day, not just, just going through the motions.
Exactly.
Okay, this is so fascinating, and it's making me think, what are some of the things that successful people do in the mornings that maybe we can all incorporate into our own lives? What else does the book talk about?
Well, she talks a lot about exercise.
Oh, exercise. Okay,
yeah.
I'm listening. I need to do more of that.
We all do, probably.
Yeah, probably.
But she talks about it not just for physical health, but also for mental clarity. Right.
Oh, that's a good point. I mean, I know that after I exercise, I definitely feel more focused.
Right. And there's research to support that. Like, one study found that people who exercise in the morning actually had better decision-making skills throughout the day.
Oh, wow.
So it's not just about, getting in shape.
Right.
It's also about priming your brain for success.
Okay, so exercise, tackling those important tasks, anything else?
Well, if we connect all this to the bigger picture, it's about building momentum.
Momentum, okay.
Right. So each small win in the morning, whether it's a workout or making progress on a big project or even just making your bed,
Right.
it builds on itself.
Okay.
And it creates this positive cycle that can carry you through the rest of the day.
I can see that. But how do we actually make this happen consistently? I mean, it's one thing to have a great morning every once in a while, but how do we turn it into a habit?
Right.
What's the secret?
Well, Vanderkam's answer is routine.
Routine. Okay, I can see that.
I know it sounds kind of boring, but she emphasizes that it's not about having a rigid schedule.
Okay.
It's more about setting intentions and creating habits that support your goals.
That makes sense.
And it's not just about willpower either. Our brains are actually wired to love routines.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They reduce what's called decision fatigue.
Decision fatigue. What's that?
Well, it's that feeling of being overwhelmed by all the choices we have to make throughout the day. So by having a morning routine, you kind of automate some of those decisions.
Oh, okay.
And that frees up mental energy for the more important stuff later on. It's like choosing your outfit the night before.
Right.
One less decision you have to make when you're still half asleep.
Oh, I like that.
Right.
Yes, yeah, that's a good one.
Makes a difference.
Okay, so routine is key. Set intentions, create habits, and reduce decision fatigue.
Got it. So for our listeners out there, what's, like a really simple, actionable thing that they can do? What's one small change they can make to their morning routine to start building this momentum?
Hmm.
Just one small thing.
Well, they could try waking up just 15 minutes earlier.
Okay, 15 minutes.
Just 15 minutes to read or meditate or do some yoga.
Okay.
Vanderkam even suggests just making your bed.
Oh, yeah. Making your bed. That's a good one.
It's a tiny win,
It is a tiny win.
but it can set a positive tone for the whole day.
It's funny you should say that because I actually started making my bed every day a few months ago. And I have to say, it really does make a difference.
Does it?
It does.
Interesting.
I feel more organized, more in control, even if the rest of my day is a total mess.
I like it.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot of work-related stuff.
Yeah.
But Vanderkam also talks about using mornings for connection, right? Yes, absolutely. She emphasizes that it's not all about productivity and achievement.
Okay.
It's also about nurturing relationships.
Right.
So whether that's having a family breakfast or calling a friend on your commute or even just taking a few minutes to write a gratitude list,
Well, I like that, a gratitude list.
starting the day with that focus on connection can have a really powerful impact on your well-being. And there is a lot of research to support that. Social connection and gratitude are key ingredients for happiness and resilience.
Okay, so it all comes back to being intentional, right?
Right.
Successful people aren't just in their mornings. They're actively using them to align with their goals and values.
Exactly. And the best part is, it's something anyone can do. It's not about becoming a morning person if that's not naturally you.
Right.
It's about making conscious choices with that time.
I love that. So to kind of wrap things up here,
Mm-hmm.
what's like a final provocative thought that we can leave our listeners with? Something for them to really ponder or explore on their own that kind of builds on what Vanderkam talks about in the book.
Hmm.
What's something that maybe we haven't explicitly touched on yet?
Well, Vanderkam argues that even waking up just 15 minutes earlier can make a difference.
15 minutes.
And it may not seem like much,
Right.
but if you think about it, that's an extra hour and 45 minutes each week.
Okay, yeah.
That's almost 7 hours a month.
Oh, wow.
And that's over 80 hours a year.
That's a lot of time.
Right.
Yeah.
So imagine what you could achieve with that extra time compounded over weeks, months, years.
That's amazing. It really makes you realize maybe the key to unlocking our potential isn't some grand secret.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's in those everyday choices
Exactly.
and how we use those precious morning hours.
It's about taking control of your time.
Yes, it is. Well, that's it for our deep dive on mornings.
It was fun.
It was. It was really insightful. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you next time.
See you then. Bye. Bye.